and gentlemen, welcome to the 2017 Binch Bros Award Show, starring Sejun.
Hello.
And Kiyo.
What up?
Special guests include Chris Pratt.
Yes. And Michael Moore.
Mike Tyson.
And Michael Myers.
Chris Kirkpatrick.
And Chris Evans. They're all here.
All of the Chris's and Mikes.
Wow, what an
Did
audience.
you call Mike Myers Michael Myers, like the
I think
Halloween
I did it again.
killer?
Yeah, I did that last time.
like the fictional killer.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. It's Binch Bros Award Show
Is that
yet
your
again.
Michael Buffer impression?
Michael, you're gonna do a Michael Buffer impression?
No. Was that yours?
I don't even know who that is.
Well, I'm not gonna do an impression, but the "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" guy.
Oh, let's get ready. Yeah, I guess that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
He's
wow,
famous.
Michael, another Mike. He's
Yeah.
here too.
He's a Michael Buffer.
All right, cool. Welcome everybody, all the Michaels and Chris's and our audience. This is great. We've refined the Binch Bros Award Show this time. We're not going to go through a list of games that came out the year per month. We're just going to talk about
the whole
games
year. Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
We did the whole goddamn year. Kind of a mess, but I mean, this one's going to be better. This one's definitely going to be better because we were active on 2017.
Yeah, 100%.
So we have a top 5 games that we liked this year, and we're gonna both talk about or say which one we liked.
Oh shit! I just realized we didn't go over it. Me and you.
Yeah. Well, I thought we were gonna go. Well, I mean, if it is, if we have the same one,
we already
we'll
talked about it.
We'll just take it off, and it'll be fine.
We can just skip. So we can just skip it the second time.
Yeah.
If we have anything, if I have something on my list that comes later that you had on your list, I'll be like, oh yeah, my number 2 is this,
Yeah. Oof,
but
I see. Yes.
If we have, oh shit, or I can be like, oh yeah, that's my number 2.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You want me to go first, right? Or do you have anything else to say in the opening ceremony?
Yeah. This is gonna be the final episode of Binch Bros.
Yes. Potentially. It's more so that than anything. It's mostly on my call right now because this is a lot of hours putting into the Binch Bros, and it's just I want to try to make games and stuff and play other games.
And we did want to not just end it without a proper finale, and I feel like this is a good finale because it's like the end of the year wrap up.
I'll probably spice it up a bit. Maybe I'll add some extra sounds from the norm. But
thank you, for listening. For following along week after week.
Yeah,
and in this case, waiting 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah,
however long this has been. But you can find Kiyo
at
YouTube.
Could find me at YouTube. YouTube.com/xkiyo XKIYOO. I was able to grab that before you have to get 100 subscribers.
That's cool. Yeah,
and then you can name it.
I think I have one which I'm not gonna do stuff on really, but that's just June Master J, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me. I'll be writing. I'm writing for this blog called Dialogue Trees. It's dialogtrees.org.
Yes.
And I put up my games of the year list already on there, but this list might be a little different because I think after ruminating on it, I have thought of basically I just changed my number 5. But
okay,
yeah,
and what's a lot of thought? That's a lot of work, a lot of thought to put into. To be honest,
well, I was like, it was one of those things when I wrote the list over there, I didn't I skipped it. This was my fear from the beginning of the year. I was like, there's so many good games early on that I'm gonna forget about. I have to do my best to remember them.
Yes,
and I didn't remember all of them, so
Same.
that was my bad. But one of them definitely was one where I was like, oh yeah, that's an honorable mention afterwards, and then I thought about it and I was like, no, that's one of my fucking favorite games of the year. So
yeah, I think if we did like a top 6, I think it would probably help you get rid of the 6th one or figure out the 5, because you're already exceeding it and you're already deciding that like that's definitely going to be your 5th top 5.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and it was
that's just like a strat.
Yeah, I think maybe it was like we'll get into it when we get into it, but yeah.
All right, cool. Well, you also have a Twitch account too. Are you gonna stream?
I do have a Twitch account. It's Bad Friends Brigade. Yeah. I probably, if I do, it'll be very rare, but it's cool if people watch me. That I do dig that. Because honestly, I don't like playing a game through for the first time in front of a live audience, because I don't want to have to perform when I'm experiencing something for the first time.
Yeah, but that's usually what I look for sometimes, like on YouTube videos. But
yeah, and
everyone has their own.
I just want to I don't want to I usually want to just dive in, especially if it's something like a new experience, and I don't know, it's like I don't really want to pay attention to chat, but like if it's something I've played a bit and I'm I'm comfortable in it and stuff, and then like maybe like then I can play it and show off things or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking about that. One more thing I do want to say. Well, actually, no, that has nothing. Never mind.
All right.
Merry Christmas, everyone, by the way.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. And about to be Happy New Year. We'll probably say it again towards the end.
Yeah, it might be Happy New Year's after this comes out.
Yeah, I should be able to work on it before the New Year's begins. All right, or launches, whatever. But yeah, either way, thank you for listening so far. We're going to probably say it one more time before we close out this podcast. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. And you can find all these episodes. They'll always be up on YouTube, right?
Yes, on Binch Bros YouTube. Yeah. Because right now we have a thing going on with Podbean. I'm not sure if it's still going to be, all the episodes are going to be up there on Podbean
forever.
Once it's gone, once the lease is over, I guess. It's not a lease.
Yeah.
But once that contract's over, I'm not sure if it'll stay there. But regardless, yeah, it will be on. It'll definitely be on YouTube. So YouTube.com. And then you have to search Binch Bros, and then you'll see our cartoon animated faces. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
There. Yeah. All right, let's get into it, shall we?
Let's dip.
All right. So just right away, top 5.
Number 5.
Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Wow. Okay. What is it? I do have that on my list too. We can get to it when we get to it. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about this amazing game.
Yeah.
All right. Developed by Ninja Theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like their independent, non-publisher game. Hellblade is. So it's like it's an independent game that they wanted to make look like a AAA game. They wanted this game to feel like one of those tentpole games, like Uncharted or whatever, like huge game. Like they wanted that level of quality in it, but they can focus on what they want to do with the game. And so they said, well, this is a story we want to tell. It's a small story.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of cramming it full of a ton of side quests and collectible, whatever, instead of doing a thing where it makes the game bloated, we'll just tell this small story and, kind of sell it at a budget, at a budget price, right? So it costs, what was it, like $30 when it came out?
Yeah. Actually, I think it was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I think we got it on sale, or I don't remember.
I mean, that feels like a sale, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a really good price.
I want to hear I want to hear what you have to say about this game first.
I mean, like it took me by surprise, honestly. Like I didn't think it was gonna be this good. I'm gonna be honest. And at first, I was really freaking scared at playing it, and I still am. It's still pretty creepy because when you play solo, the voices like kind of like stick with you, and they kind of like you kind of just get into the immersion of Senua.
Right.
And yeah, man, it's just really good. Just like there's just like so many things. Like the first thing, like straight off, is like when you first die, the game tells you that like she can't die that many times, and once you die, something happens. Like you have to start all over or something.
Yeah.
Which again, I'm still not sure if that's like a placebo thing, where you have to play good. But regardless, like that, it has like a little Dark Souls ish kind of thing to it, where your life is precious and
it is. Yeah,
make sure that
definitely.
you don't die.
I don't know. Yeah, I think from at this point, I guess we don't want to spoil these games for people, in case they do want to check them out. But I think like definitely like there are some things in this game that like you can find out if you like on the internet, whether like, is this thing real? Is this thing not, for that specifically. And I don't know, part of the interesting and fun part about my playthrough with it was I had no idea about that. You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
So when I played it, I was very much
like cautious.
I was.
Yeah.
And so every time I did die, and you saw that like black mark creep up her arm because she gets this mark on her arm the first time she dies, and then like it says it's gonna like keep growing until it gets to her head. Yeah. And I don't think I ended up dying that much, but that was because I was being very careful, like I didn't not like one of the things I really liked about this game and I thought was cool is it doesn't tell you a lot. It doesn't tell you almost anything. If you push start, it tells you the controls.
Oh, yeah. It does tell you that.
But and that it doesn't even tell you to do that. So if you never knew about that, you didn't do it. But
oh my god, I never. What was it? It was like a parry thing you could do.
There
right?
was a parry. When you block at the right timing, you can parry. Kiyo never found that out the whole playthrough.
75%, and then June tells me about this. I was like, damn.
And it's cool. It's like a cool system. It's like I think the fighting there's like combos depending on which way you're dodging, which attacks you do first.
Yeah.
There's combo systems. There's a really cool like there's no HUD, but like it's like third person perspective. You see things on Senua that like indicate whether an ability that you get is ready or not, you see it on her, kind of on the person. Yeah, it's a really cool system. There's a thing like when you get downed after being hit a bunch, and you're like on your last ropes, and she falls down. She's not dead. It's not game over yet. Like if you mash, she'll get back up. Oh yeah. I didn't know that until like my second death. Yeah. And then like at one point I was just like stressed out after I was knocked down, just mashing, and she got back up. And I was like, oh wait, that's a thing? I didn't have to die those other 2 times. Yeah, there's no like press X or like a little animation where the X is being pressed multiple times. Yeah, or whichever button, whatever. Yeah, I thought that was really great because it makes, especially with it adds on top of the whole stress of the limited chances to succeed element of the game. And also, I mean, like, I don't know if we even talked about this the first time, but like, well, we definitely didn't talk about this part because this happened recently, but like, Melina Juergens, the actress who played Senua, won Best Performer at the Game Awards, right? And and I think like, I don't know how much we praised the acting the first time, but she's phenomenal. It's really good stuff. It is really good. She's kind of playing like she plays like she acts along with people here and there, like she has dialogue and talks to people, but big part of the game is her and the voices like in her head. Like they use that facial
technology. I don't know what they call it, but they use that a lot in here, and like you get really, really like in your face close ups, and yeah,
that's true. Good. When you're playing the game itself, it's be over the shoulder, so you don't see her face during the gameplay. But this game does have a lot of cutscenes, and I think that's really cool. It depends on like what you want out of a game, I guess. This is a very story heavy game.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It doesn't really recycle its mechanics, which I think is really cool. Like you'll get into an area, and do you remember that forest where you have to go through? You have to go through certain walkways, and the environment changes.
It's like a little,
but it's like puzzle. A subtle change. It's like, oh, there's an extra path now, instead of like,
or you like, yeah.
It's just an effect when you walk through. It's not like, you know, oh no, it's like the green fires.
It's straight up just like entering Narnia or Hogwarts or whatever. You just go through it and the environment changes.
And I was just like, so when I was at that point in the game, I was like, okay, so this is like the mechanic of the game. I see. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's only for that one section.
Yeah.
It's great though. It's a great mechanic, but like,
yeah, it definitely doesn't. Yeah, that's right.
Just like, yeah, no, that's fine. We're done with that. Now, like, and like every like part of the game like has like a thing like that. Like there's a part where you're blind and you have to use sound to get around, and you can barely see.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and
that was really cool. Good.
Yeah, that's probably the freakiest part of the game for me. Like when I think about it, when you're like walking under the cellar. Yeah,
because there's like chains and stuff, and you touch it for a second.
There's these things, and you can't really see what they are because your eyesight's bad. And
and every time you get closer to them, your like controller really just vibrates like the closer you get to them as well. So like it really it's really creepy because like I feel like my fingers were gonna slip and I was gonna get closer to them going off.
Also, like we can't forget about the voices, and the audio design of the voices.
Oh yeah.
Like, so this is a game where you have to play with your headphones on, to get the experience of this game. Like, I wrote about this game and I said this is like the most empathic game. You know, like you feel like you're in her shoes, right? Like in terms of like her mental state, you know, and you really. You have to kind of suffer alongside her, and I mean sometimes the voices are helpful, but then you're like, so you don't know how to feel about it, and I think that's how she feels about it. I thought it was great overall.
Yeah,
one of the best games of the year by far for me too.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Man, so good. I think it was on sale too, and one of our friends ended up picking it up, and it's really good.
Yeah, everyone should play this game. I don't think it's like. I think everyone should play this game. I don't think
it's a really good
like,
experience.
Yeah, it's not super violent or like disgustingly, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's something that would like, what I mean? I think anyone can play it, and
yes,
it's not super scary. It's not supposed to be. It's not like a horror. It's got horrific things, but I don't know. It's great.
Yeah, good game. Good
play
game.
Hellblade.
What is your top 5 or
so
fifth?
My number 5 game of the year. So in my original list I wrote Injustice 2, but it's actually upon thinking about it more, I'm gonna say Gravity Rush 2 is my number 5 game of the year. That's the game I said I forgot. Remember, like I was like,
yes,
a game I forgot. Gravity Rush 2 is it's so like I don't know how to do this. Did you ever play? Do you remember Spider-Man 2? I think we've talked about this, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. The feeling you got when you felt that game, like that feeling of openness and just freedom of travel. Mm-hmm. Like this is the first time since that game I feel like I've had that feeling.
Yeah, it's really
playing
good.
Gravity Rush and Gravity Rush 2. And Gravity Rush 1, I sort of had that feeling, but it was a handheld game and it was limited.
Linear. Yeah.
Gravity Rush 2, I really had that feeling because it was like there's this there's like these. So the whole point of the game is you fall, you point in a direction and you fall that way, You know, so it's very different. It's different from just I'm gonna fly here. It's you're falling there, and because of that, like you know, everything about that takes it into account. Like and you have these three different styles in this version. Like 2 added new styles. Like there's one called Lunar and one called Jupiter. The Lunar one is you can just jump with like no weight pretty much, so you can just leap across distances and you're light as a feather. And with Jupiter it's the reverse. It's you know, you're heavy. You're like a rock, and you use those for, you know, different sections. You know, like there might be times where there's like a big gust, you know, and you just used a Jupiter and you just like plant it down, you know, or like but you can use Jupiter for combat, you know, because it's like if you fly towards a thing then you just fall towards a thing and you just have like the heaviest gravity on it, you know, obviously you're gonna hit harder. Yeah, it's great. It's like there's a lot of cool ideas. And one of my favorite things about this game is the open world. One of my favorite open worlds to just play in. They had this great system of the online component of this game was there were these treasure chests hidden throughout the world that you would take a photo of to get to help other players on how to get there. You would take a photo of it, you know, like a little hint. And another player would see that photo and try and like figure out where is that exactly, because you can't tell. But if you put cat in the photo, you can kind of make it so they can tell. So it's like if you put your character Cat in the photo, then it's like, oh wait, her hair is floating, you know, upwards, so she's upside down, you know, so I should be looking below, stuff like that. And like and so you can get really creative with it. There's the cities, there's these 3 specifically distinct areas, 3 different like chains of floating islands, I guess. They all, you know, represent different social class. There's the middle one that you're on early on. There's this lower one that's way at the bottom, which is like the slums. It's poor, it's all rickety. They're kind of like held together, you know. And there's a super swank rich one at the very, very top. And like sometimes, like during this game, I did stuff like I'm just gonna fall. Like I could use my fast travel button. I could open up my map and like, you know, I unlock the warp pipe. I could do this, or I could just drop down, fall right past the second city, you know, because I need to get the third city. You know, just keep falling. It takes me minutes on end, you know, but it's great. Like it's so nice. And I mean, I can't. You know, so it's like you think this is a game. Oh, these mechanics are great. The story is really great. This game wraps up Gravity Rush 2. Like, this is the conclusion, wraps up the series. This is the conclusion, and I was so happy about that. Like, they wanted to make sure that you got a whole story. It ties in beautifully to the first game. The first game itself is really great and story-wise, but this game just takes everything and just like, you know, makes it even better. All the connections are really paid off. I just think it's the best. It's so good. One of my favorite games of the year, and I really regret leaving it out on my list the first time. So
I mean, I regret not even playing in in the first place.
You bought it, right?
I did get it, and it was part of
play it, man.
I'm definitely gonna play it. I want to play pretty much all the games we talk about today that I missed out.
Yeah, unfortunately for this game, I had heard, I don't know if this is I didn't verify this, but they don't have the servers up running for it anymore. So I don't think you can partake in the treasure chest stuff.
Oh man.
And, you know, all that stuff. There was fun rewards tied to that. Like you would unlock different furnishings for Cat's Cat's place. You get a place.
Home.
Yeah, you get a little home at a certain point in the game, and you can unlock different like furnishings for it. Like, oh, I want a mirror on that wall, or I want a different bed, a different TV. And then some of the unlocks were like, Oh, right. There was a gem system. I totally forgot. You got these like modifiers that you could slot in. You had these 3 different slots that you could put. Each one had like a different type of thing you could put in it.
Right.
But and they would do different things like some of them would be stat stuff, like, oh, this gives you more of this. But like some of it would be like, if you're using this mode, like you don't use gravity energy as fast, or you can pick up objects around you at a bigger radius, to shoot at things, or stuff like that. Like it got really fun. And I went for getting the best loadout and stuff, and the collecting of the gems is super fun. Again, it's it's like very like Mario 64 Knights and Knights, like that sort of old style platformer style collectathon thing. That's really great. You spend those gems on like leveling up your skills, stuff like that. It's great. Yeah, perfect game. They still updated it like months after the game came out. They gave a free DLC story content thing, which is really cool and played totally different from the main game. Like you played as a different character whose powers were different. Like similar but different. But then they had like different game mechanics. Like
it's basically a new game, pretty much.
And much shorter, much shorter. If Gravity Rush 2 is like a huge sprawling game, this is like an hour or two. But
kind of reminds me of like the Final Fantasy like character changes up to, or DLCs as well.
Oh yeah.
Changes.
Yeah, that's weird. No, not like that. This doesn't go back to the main game. This is like its own separate chapter.
Right.
But it's cool. And then also like and they also like release like, because there's a ton of skins and costumes in this game that you can find throughout the world, and they're great. It's a personality, adds a lot of personality to the game.
Oh hell yeah! And there's no way to buy them. You just have to find them.
Yeah, I think there might have been a pre-order exclusive color one, which that sucks. Maybe, I don't know if it's still exclusive. It might have like run out or something. But like it was just like a color swap of the main costume, and everything else was like you unlock it in the game.
Yeah, but it's just one of the many like skins pretty much that you could get from it. So
there's they added one, like an update. They added the 2B costume from Nier Automata.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
I remember you mentioned that. That's cool.
I like hopped in to check it out. I was like, oh wow, that's so fun. Like what a great collaboration out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if this game like I mean, I say play it as soon as you can. Hopefully the servers aren't down, but one of my favorite games of the year for sure.
Yeah, man,
amazing game.
Definitely gonna pick it up, or play it, or I already picked it up. Yeah, shit, that's good.
What's your number 4?
My number 4. Speaking of collaborations, is No, it's not. It's not Final Fantasy 15. It is Mario Odyssey.
Speaking of collaborations.
Yeah. Wait, what?
You said speaking of collaborations.
Yeah, I said that, but it was just a meme about Final Fantasy 15 and Assassin's Creed.
It's collaborating on Mario and older Mario.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in there. Mario Odyssey.
It's a collaboration between Mario and that obscure PC game Messiah. Where you're a little baby cherub and you can possess people around you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mario Odyssey. Little it's I don't know. I just liked playing it. Like I haven't played a Mario game like either like fully or just in general. And picking it up for the Switch or just in general, like it's really fun. Like I didn't realize how mobile Mario games are, or at least this game, but like it's pretty fun. Just like without even like possessing anything. Like there's so many like moves that Mario does that makes this game like really like makes it good.
It's like running around and the world feels good.
Yeah, and like I don't know, the capturing of like creatures and enemies that you take is pretty fun too, because it just changes it up, and you could do some pretty crazy things with them, I guess.
A really cool thing I've always heard about this game was people would say, constantly people playing the game would say, yeah, and I tried this, just because like in my head I was like, yeah, this would probably work. And, it did work, or, or I got a unexpected result, and it's like, I guess what the game, and chances are in this game, if you figured out something, or if you like thought of something, chances are the developer has already thought of it.
Yeah.
And like, worked it in to the game.
Yeah.
Which is great because, there's so many things in games where you're like, this isn't going to work. Like, oh, can I like keep this door open by like using this dead body and shoving it in the doorway, so like when the door closes, like what will happen? No, now I just broke the game. Like the body's clearly just clipping, and like right. The physics on it is like making it like judder around, but the door just closed anyway. There's nothing like in this game. It's more like, oh, can I try to do this thing and it'll work? Yeah. It seems to me, which is really cool.
Definitely
this is the game. Yeah, this is the game that I don't have for the console to play that I wish I could this year.
Yeah,
like Super Mario Odyssey.
It's really good. Like I don't know, platformers are now becoming a thing that I want to play now because of Mario Odyssey.
If you want to know of a good platformer, you should maybe look into a game called A Hat in Time, which is a game I was thinking of picking up because I don't have a Nintendo Switch, and I do want a good platformer. And
it's on the Switch?
It's on PlayStation 4. I don't have a Nintendo Switch. So I was like, what can I play in lieu of Super Mario Odyssey? I hear Hat in Time is pretty good. Yeah. So that's it's more of an old school platformer, 3D.
The other thing too with Mario Odyssey is kind of like it's really chill, I found.
Yeah, like, just one of those relaxing games.
All it is just collecting stars or like whatever moons, and just proceeding forward, or just collecting it just in general. It's a nice collector game. It's almost like hitting the trophy achievements or just achievements in general. It's almost like that, and it's like I wasn't even trying. Like I don't think I consider myself a speedrunner, because I think to make myself official speedrunner or whatever, I have to actually submit something. But like it just happens. Like I just play the game I just play Mario the way he wants to be used, and I found myself finishing the game pretty quickly, but it was still pretty fun regardless.
I mean, I got a text from Timmy, right? He was playing Mario Odyssey post-game stuff. He's just playing it still. And he says, I spent this many hours in the game. I beat the game. I've done a bunch of stuff. And I'm so surprised that it still continues to surprise me.
Yeah,
and he's definitely. He gave me an anecdote, which I won't, go into if anyone wants to, like, avoid spoilers, but it's like he said this thing about a movie theater, and I was like, wait, that's crazy. That's really cool. Like, that whole section sounds like something from like Kojima, or I don't know, Yoko Taro, or some weird abstract game designer who like looks into the past of their own works and like comments on it. And I thought it was really cool sounding.
Yeah, that's it. It's freaking sounding even like the music in this game is also really good too. I feel like all these, but besides Hellblade, I think it didn't really have that much music into it.
Hellblade has a really cool sequence with music.
Yeah,
where music kicks in, and so I do think like even Hellblade uses music in a really cool way.
Yeah, I think all of them are kind of related into music. I mean, like music is a really big part of like any game, really. Because when I remember playing like even Minecraft, I guess, like listening to that music is really good, and I think it's why it kept me playing that game. And Mario Odyssey is one of those games that definitely had like music that I really enjoyed while I was playing. And I don't know, it just felt really chill and really fun.
Hell yeah.
I love it. Mario Odyssey, top 4 for Kiyo.
My number 4 game of the year is Night in the Woods.
Oh,
and
shit.
Speaking of music, there's parts in this game where you play you play the bass, it's like a Guitar Hero style, like rhythm clicky thing. And I was just thinking about that just now when you were bringing up the music. This game has a ton of these mini activities throughout it, but none of those are the reason why this game is good. This game is good because it has probably one of the best written scripts this year. It's amazing. It's so funny but chill and sad and relatable and weird and quirky, but it doesn't feel try-hardy. It's and it's really depressing in a likable way. You play as this cat named May, and she's 20 years old, I think. She dropped out of college. She couldn't hack it, and you don't know why. And you're dealing. You play as her, and you just have conversations with people in your town. You walk
it's like a day-to-day kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. And as it goes on, the story gets deeper. It's what I really like about this game, though, is the writing is really good at showing you these people as real people. You know, like these animals, these like llamas and cats and foxes. They're really likable, and none of them is a stereotype. There are Christian characters done in ways that don't feel like every other Christian characters. There are, gay characters done without, having to adhere to stereotypes. There's, they're all like
bear.
Like a bear.
Yeah. Hairy dudes that are gay.
Oh, I mean, unfortunately, these are all hairy dudes because they're all animals. So
that's true.
So I don't know,
but like a literal bear.
I don't think there was any literal bears. If I think about this game, I don't think that's a character. Yeah, I don't think there's a bear.
Wasn't I remember playing it. I don't know, spoilers. I don't think so. It's just it's just like an everyday thing either way. Like there's characters that are gay in video games and in real life. So, but I could swear there was like you go to an apartment with one of your friends, one of May's friends.
I don't know. Maybe he's a bear. I actually don't know what animal he is. I didn't think he was a bear. I thought he was something else. Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. Anyway,
characters look good.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Characters are written really great. One of my favorite characters is the priest, the pastor. Sorry. Of their church that May's mother attends, and May's mom is really great. I
love her.
Yeah, it's not part of the main story thread, but you can keep talking to her and progress her story thread, kind of and there's no checklist. This isn't Persona 5, there's no goal for doing this. There's no, you don't fill up any meter, but if anything, you fill up a little diary page sometimes in your diary, and that makes me really happy. But there were all these little things I wanted to do. There was a family of mice that I found inside attic, and then I was like, oh wait, they look hungry, maybe I can go feed them, or I just kept checking back up on these mice over and over again.
But could they not talk?
No, these are they're supposed to be mice, like how mice would be to us.
Yeah, actual mice.
when you're dealing with animals as allegorical people, and then you have actual animals, it can get kind of confusing. But I don't think this game deals with it too much. Just no humans. Yeah, but it really captures something I'm very familiar with. Which is this sense of like purposelessness, right? And like the fear of, you know, how scary purpose, like you know, this like ennui, this you know, meaninglessness can feel, and how like how things change without you wanting them to or knowing that they will, and how like the same small town you grew up in is now unrecognizable to you. You know, like all those little stores in the corner are gone, you know, before you even realize it. Yeah, stuff like that. And it's you know, it's really I don't know, this game could take place anywhere, you know, in any time. Not any time because there's internet, but like, you know, like it could just be like, because I've heard a lot of people say, oh yeah, this game is really great at depicting the Midwest, and other people have said, wow, this feels just like New York where I grew up, you know. And so it's like, it could be anywhere, you know, and it's it could be the Pacific Northwest, you know, it could be anywhere. But like I think chances are, you know, most people will be able to relate to this game on a emotional level. And I think it's a, you know, it's a slice of life, you know, sort of adventure that you know, it gets deeper into things, but its writing definitely made it stand out, you know, in combination with everything else it has. And it's that's my number 4 game of the year. Yeah, it's really
amazing.
Good. Yeah.
I need to pick that up again. Like those always.
It's basically like, yeah, like remember how it's like toned down some of the like it's like if I compare it to anything from last year, it's like remember Oxenfree?
Yes.
It's like take Oxenfree and like the like impending danger aspect of it. Yeah. And just kind of like ratchet that down, you know, like less of that, less like peril, you know, less like, oh, you're in danger, you know, none of that. Like, you know, just tone that way the hell down, and then bring the writing way the hell up. Yeah. You know, and I think Oxenfree has great writing, but, you know, Night in the Woods makes that look like, you know, not as good because this is very good. So, yeah, it's great. I love this game.
Yeah. I want to play that as well. Pick it up.
Yeah.
It's good.
I want to play all of these games again.
Top 3 for me, Kiyo, will have to be Cuphead.
Oh, hell yeah.
For the PC and Xbox, I guess.
My memory of watching you play Cuphead is watching you fail like probably 20 something times to beat this level without shooting anyone. Yeah. And then immediately after you get off, you do it. Yeah. The next run.
Yeah.
I love that. It's just that type of game.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know. It's just, Cuphead was at first like really daunting because it felt like I was going to drop it at any point. Because I just didn't understand how it worked. I just didn't understand how much damage I was doing, or if I'm doing anything right. And after a while, I ended up figuring out, and it's pretty easy to understand once you get the hang of it and understand it a bit more. And I don't know, it has that whole Dark Souls vibe. I know it's always compared to like that, and I keep bringing that up as a
there's like a backlash against Dark Souls comparisons now, you know, like saying this is the Dark Souls of blah 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 is like, I mean, considered a faux pas now almost.
Yeah, but like it's, I don't know. It's just,
when you say it's like Dark Souls, what are you saying about it? It's difficult, or it's like it's challenging with a purpose,
it's definitely challenging,
but with a purpose, right? Like it's not just there to just beat you up and make you feel bad about yourself, throw away your controller. It's there to like, because I guess that's the thing. I think that's why people compare games to Dark Souls, because some games, I've played really hard games that I've felt nothing, you know, trying to overcome it. It's not, it doesn't feel good. You know, I've fought against people in Overwatch where I'm like, I don't fucking care if I beat you. You know, but like games like Dark Souls and Cuphead, I think walk this fine line of like making you want to better yourself to get to the next point.
That's definitely it. And the other thing too is like the fact that like you get that satisfaction after you defeat a boss that you've been dying by so many times, and when you finally defeat it, especially when you're trying to get through those scores, it feels really good. And that's the other thing too. There's a whole bunch of things about Cuphead actually. The other thing too is like it has that whole like Bayonetta Platinum Games type thing where when you finish a stage or finish a boss or whatever, you get this grade score at the end.
I love how like the two games you've compared Cuphead to so far are Bayonetta and Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But like I do want to paint a picture for people who don't know anything about Cuphead. This game looks more like it looks like a 30s cartoon.
Yes.
And it plays like Contra, basically. Like, okay, like let's get that out of the way. This is a side-scrolling shooter platformer.
Yeah.
But it is definitely one of the most like challenging games of the. I don't think you know sometimes when Dark Souls game comes out and you look online and Twitter, Dark Souls 3 wasn't that hard. The Dark Souls 3 was pretty easy. Neo's not that hard. Neo's pretty easy. I don't think I've seen people say Cuphead's easy. Yeah. I think even to the very well the very strong gamer, I think Cuphead's still a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a new challenging game that actually it's more frustrating than anything. Actually, no, it's pretty much the same thing. But that's not on my list. I'm gonna put it for notable. Actually, I'm gonna put that for notable. But yeah, Cuphead is hard. It's like challenging, and I don't think it's easy. I oh my god, I had so many. I had an incident on my first save on Cuphead.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So much progress.
You lost you beaten the game at that point almost, right?
Yeah, I was like 72% or something like that.
Yeah, and you just immediately jumped back on. You lost your save, you jumped immediately back on, and you just redid everything.
Yeah. In one sitting-ish, 2 sittings. So the first time I was like, fuck this. I started playing it try to recover for like an hour or so. I was like, fuck it. Never mind. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm too frustrated right now. And then when I came back on again, I finished it off. And
that's rad.
One sitting. And yeah, I mean, from there, because when you're trying to go for those scores too, like you become a better player, and you try to.
So the second run was shorter than the first
definitely.
run.
And I got all A's, and it's pretty passive through the running ones, and yeah, it's really fun. The art, the animation, the music again. It's similar to like I don't know what it is, but jazz. I think I'm noticing jazz is just about in every game, or at least some parts of every game.
A lot of games this year had jazz in it.
Yeah, Persona 5, for instance, Cuphead, Mario Odyssey had a little bit of that too, and these I don't know, but this one just really it fits so well, and like I even listened to a lot of jazz when I'm coming from work now, or after I played it, I just listen to a lot of jazz, and just it fits so well.
For you Southern California listeners out there, check out FM station 88.1.
Wow,
it's called K-Jazz. They play blues on the weekends. It's very chill and relaxing, and I've been listening. Probably that's my number one preset on my radio since high school.
Dawn of time.
Since high school. Since like I've had my car. Like I don't know. At a certain point, I was like, I could listen to hip hop or I could listen to this great jazz. I think I'm gonna go for this great jazz for most of the time.
You could be chill out instead of a road hog. No. Road rage. Instead of having road rage, have chill vibes.
Right. Yeah.
I know.
Jazz can get pretty exciting though. Sometimes it can get pretty upbeat and up tempo.
Oh. And that's pretty much where Cuphead's at. Like, that's all you have, and it just amps me up a lot, and it's really good. It's perfect. But top 3.
That's your number 3.
Yeah.
That's your number. Well, my number 3 is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. So let's hear what your number 2 is.
My number 2 is Nier Automata.
All right.
Surprisingly.
Wow. Okay, that's my number 1.
I know. I figured.
How about we save that for my number 1?
Yes. Yeah. No.
And I'll
let's
just
do that.
my number 2.
Yes.
Or you want to do your number 2?
That was my number 2.
Oh wait. Nier Automata is your number 2. Okay, then we'll do my number 2. Yep. Okay, perfect. My number 2 game of the year is Yakuza 0.
Nice. Oh, nice. I could chip in for this one.
Yeah, you can. You sure can.
Yeah. So,
Yakuza 0 is this prequel story to this really long spanning series of 5, now 6 games. And this is it started from the PlayStation 2. It's like this long spanning crime story about people in the Yakuza. It's about the family. It's about honor and what it means to be brothers, and it's this huge, long, deep, messy narrative full of double crosses and betrayals that it's really hard to jump into. I know people always heard about Yakuza games, but they're like, Yakuza 5, can I play that without playing the other ones? Oh well, you should probably watch a video on this one. Yakuza 0 basically says, hey, don't worry about any of that, just jump into this one.
Yes.
It takes place before all of them. The main character of the franchise, the face of the franchise, Yakuza 6 is coming out. That's going to be his final game. So right before that, they made Yakuza 0, which is going to be his first story. You know what I mean? Yeah. So before you see the very ending of this character's story, you get to see the very beginning of his story. And this takes place.
It's almost like the Star Wars episodes.
I was thinking
how
they're
released.
So I wrote a review for this game, and while I was writing the review, I was thinking about Star Wars because I was thinking about this is how you do a prequel.
Yes, definitely.
Star Wars.
No.
Did raw is the way you don't do a prequel. This is how you write a prequel. This is so good. It's you write these characters, especially Majima, who's a central character throughout the Yakuza series. You see him in this game in a way you've never seen him before, because he's kind of like this he's serious. No, he's wacky. He's this crazy guy throughout the other games. He's got this whole vibe about him with his snakeskin jacket and no shirt on underneath. He's got the eye patch and a goatee. He's like the Joker, basically. He runs around with a baseball bat, and he's a Kiryu-chan, he chases you around. Right. He's great. He's this hilarious, over-the-top guy. And so you're when you find out that you get to also play as him in this game for the first time, you never got to play as Majima before, and then you're thrilled, and then you get to him, and he's nothing like what you remember.
Right.
He's this very serious and stoic man. He never, but he's still funny. He's still got a charm, and he's quick-witted. He'll think his way out of a situation. He can throw down, but if he doesn't have to beat you up, he'd rather figure out a different way to deal with the situation. And it's perfectly done in his opening scene, where he's the host of a cabaret, this grand cabaret, where people go drink and watch dancing and stuff. And there's this really rowdy customer who wants to pick a fight with you because he doesn't like that, he can't be aggressive towards the staff and whatever, right? He's being mad because you're asking him to chill out and leave or whatever, right? And the way this is how it introduces Majima's combat to you, because it's introducing how to dodge and stuff, because you're supposed to dodge all of this guy's punches without swinging a single thing. And then when it introduces the heat attacks, which are normally these over the top violent things where people throw people through windows or into car doors, instead Majima, you do the heat attack during this fight, he dodges, and he brings out like a champagne bottle and like a towel or something. He's like, it's really funny.
Yeah.
And it's so this game is very, charming and funny and stuff. It's got the best story this year in video games. It's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite crime stories, period. Like, it's so interesting. It's so poetic if you think about it, because it's about the point in time in Japan where the economy is at the highest it is. It's like the roaring 20s of Japan, the 80s of Japan, or sorry, the 80s, the 1980s is like America's roaring 20s. People have a surplus of money that they can spend on everything. You see people holding up like, what amounts to like, hundreds of dollars in their hand, just try and wave down a taxi, like you see people, wearing the height of fashion, being super rich. Everyone's in huge, tacky suits, and it's got this whole vibe, which, if you know anything about the economies, like this bubble will burst, but this is before it burst. And that theme carries through into the gameplay. The story is about money. The game is about money. Yes. Everything. It does this really cool thing that the series never did before, which is everything in the game revolves around money, including your experience, your everything. So you use money for everything. You use it for leveling up. You use it for buying items. You use it for betting. You use it for every single thing you do. And you're always getting money. You're literally punching money out of people during fights. And it's really poetic because the plot of the game is about, all these, like, in the richest point in Japan, these crime families, these people are, really, they're willing to murder, and, kill for this tiny empty lot, this unmarked patch in between, two buildings that, it's just something that they all want to own because, like, there's a reason for it, and you're trying to figure out, like, as you play, like, something happens there, and, it sets off this chain of events where the two main characters, their two totally divergent stories, start to collide, and it's brilliant. It's really just an awesome ride. And that awesome, serious story is then juxtaposed by the crazy world of Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0, again, takes place in Kamurocho, the city that you're always in Yakuza. And Kamurocho in 1980s is a trip. It's fun. It's like the familiar streets, except this time you got way more of this bustling nightlife happening. You got these really crazy 80s themed games. You got people. You got Michael Jackson showing up with obviously a different name, but like you got him showing up in your sub quest. You got references to Dragon Quest games that were coming out at the time. It's the mini games this time around, because this is before Hostess Club. Like, all these games always had these Hostess clubs where you like date hostesses or whatever. You're trying to talk to them. In this game, like, one of the mini games is, it's not even a mini game. It's like a whole system, this whole other game built into it, where you're managing like a hostess club. Like, this is one of the first hostess clubs, So it's like, because before that, cabarets were the big thing, and so now you're like managing a different thing, and so you're like, all right, I'm gonna put stats into these characters, like these girls that I have on my payroll, but I have to make sure they're not like tired or whatever. And so you're sending them out to meet people. It's like the most addicting game, like this little mini game in the game. And then and it's so fun. And I spent hours on that game, just like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have her wear glasses because that guy likes an intelligent whatever. It's like, it's so fun.
And I think, doesn't that still like help you out too, right?
You get money. You get money, and you get like territory for like, which is good in this game. Like, you're trying to build up, like, it depends on the like story, but like the two characters have different goals, but you're trying to like, you want them to both reach their goals. It's definitely one of those games where the plot is like super like immediate and urgent.
Yes.
But you can just take 20 hours of your life to just go and play Mahjong.
Yeah.
Like if you want,
and like all these mini games. Before we get into mahjong, all these mini games inside the game is like, it goes into money, right? Like you always get.
No, hell no,
no,
dude. You can spend a ton of money just playing Outrun and Space Harrier. You're not gonna get any of that money back.
That's true. Yeah,
that's an
right.
arcade game. You're just dumping money into it. You want to go play that claw machine? Well, yeah, you got a cool plushie out of it, but you're not getting that money back. Like,
true,
there's tons of these mini games that you don't get anything back except for like fun, which is cool. Yeah. There's a lot of gambling style things where you can get money back, but I mean, there's such a robust gambling system in this game. There's like any sort of card / like board like betting type games. Like there's like everything. Like there's so many. I can't even name any of them. There's like most of them are like Asian, and then then there's like
so does it have the one where like the ball goes through like a whole bunch of nails?
No, it doesn't have like that Shenmue Lucky lucky hit. Yeah, it does have Lucky Hit. It has this dice game that I got really into where you're trying to like guess what the dice is or something.
Oh my god.
There was then there's like the more traditional Western casino where you can play roulette and craps and whatever. It's all done really well. There's like a bowling arcade. It's a bowling system, that's like animations and like that actually has a really great subplot sort of where
of course,
because Kiryu, Majima's running the cabaret club. Kiryu's running this real estate business, and part of the real estate business is you hire the people, everyone you meet from their little sub quests and stuff. Like you can start recruiting them as managers or different people in your real estate business. Yeah, and if you're just bowling for a while, eventually, if you what is it? I think if you get like a turkey,
oh my god,
like which is 3 strikes in a row, you get a turkey.
Yeah,
but it turns out the turkey is actually a chicken. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to prepare this chicken for you?" Like, and he's like, "Wait, you mean like kill it? No, like don't kill this chicken. I'll just take the chicken." And so you take the chicken, and then he becomes a manager of your real estate business. Like, it's so good.
Oh my god,
that made me so happy.
Oh my gosh, it's so silly, but
it's so fun. Silly. And when it's serious, it's like like I had tears in my eyes during this game, But like when it's silly, I was laughing. Me and you played mahjong for days. We learned how to play mahjong.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
had no idea how to play mahjong. I had already beaten the whole game. I 100% of everything else. Last thing in front of me was mahjong, and I was like, once again, Yakuza, you have mahjong to block me from 100% completion. Right. And then this time it was like, oh, maybe I should just give it a shot. And slowly I started understanding mahjong. It made me appreciate one of my favorite movies, The Joy Luck Club, more. Just because now I'm like, oh, I get mahjong. I should watch Joy Luck Club again. Like, see if I understand what they're doing. Oh my gosh,
mahjong,
great, best, Yakuza 0, man. Like, between my number 1 and Yakuza 0, my number 1 being Nier, like that was a really hard choice, and you could swap the two at any point. You know what I mean? It's like,
for sure.
I arbitrarily put Nier just because I think it's a little more accessible to most people than something like Yakuza 0.
Right, yeah.
What's your number 1?
I'm in love with the series, and it's been in my heart for years. I'm glad it came back for this year. I don't know why I'm amping up so much, but it is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It hit up this, I think it came out in March, the same time the Switch came out. And
I want to hear more Dark Souls comparisons, right?
I don't know. Yeah, this is some Dark Souls comparisons. There's some Cupheads. We could also put a little Odyssey in there too, for movement at least. But I don't know. I just been a real big fan of I think I mentioned this many times before, at least outside of podcast. Big fan of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. Those are the OG Zelda games that I've played, and unfortunately I haven't played the other games in between them and Zelda Breath of the Wild. And yeah, man, it's it's just it's great to be back into it and having like the having the, I don't know, advancements, I guess, of like games, bringing like more open world into Zelda, and more freedom of movement.
This is another game like Mario Odyssey where I noticed that you can think of stuff to do, right? Mm-hmm. And like using that, you can, be creative with your solutions and stuff. Like Hideki Kamiya, he's a game director over at Platinum. He did Resident Evil 2, Bayonetta, great legend. This guy is a game director. He constantly posts Zelda videos of him like doing crazy shit, in Zelda, like using inventory items and bombs and stuff like in perfect times to like get the enemy. Like he's like being chased by what are those big moblin guys? These huge ones.
Can't remember. Goblins.
Anyway, he's being chased by these 3 like pretty tough dudes, and like the way he takes them out like on top of a mountain, like by like using just the systems of the game and like gravity and stuff like that is brilliant. I've seen people throw a boomerang and then catch it with magnesis and just make it into like a weed whacker type like weapon.
And that came out like not recently, but like a few months ago. Like someone found that out, or was it him?
No,
he
I don't
just,
think it was
retweeted it or something.
No. He didn't tweet that. He's just tweeting his own things. But I've seen people do crazy stuff. I know there's like puzzles in the game that like you're supposed to do this puzzle this way, but like people have figured out like totally different ways to do it just to like work around using their tools that they have.
Yeah, shield jump. It's pretty big in that game. Shield jump or just like dash or something. Forgot.
I know a lot of people because Horizon Zero Dawn came out right around the same time. A lot of people were like, they returned to Horizon after playing Zelda for a while, and they're at a cliff edge and they just hit jump off, instinctively trying to like pull out their glider. Like they'll just jump off cliffs in other video games, like forgetting they don't have gliders in those games.
And I think that's one of the things too is like, well, a post from that. I don't know. I don't think the previous Zeldas had gliders. I'm pretty sure they didn't. But like the stamina bar in itself, I think is a pretty big thing, and just the fact that Link can now climb and jump. I guess either way, like those are pretty
huge.
Big things.
Link jumping is huge.
Yeah, because like the only way you could jump in like Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild is by like rolling into an edge. And that's his jump. Or doing a backflip.
In like Twilight Princess, I think there's like areas where like there's like a prompt to jump across a thing or something, but like there's no jump button.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. It's just a lot of I keep forgetting. I keep thinking of ease of use or quality of life
changes.
Yeah, a lot of quality of life changes. It's it honestly, that's pretty much it. Like it feels like that. It's
and there's one big reverse of that, like a non-quality of life change, which is the durable weapons, the weapons that break. That was a huge thing to add to Zelda. That's never
that
been
is
there
a
before.
big thing. Yeah.
In every other Zelda game, you got your sword. And eventually you got like a master sword. In this game, you have many different weapon types that are all, that all break apart. And so you can't really get attached to one weapon specifically. Did it like that ever become a problem for you, or did you end up loving that system?
I think you get used to it and then you understand it. And I think I just can't remember how I used to like manage that. But I think there's like I think I usually just use my bow, and
because your bows don't break.
They do, but not as often.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think you just stock up. Like that's pretty much what happens. You're able to like increase your inventory, and pretty much what you do is just farm kind of, but they come in as you're going to like points of interest, pretty much like the towers that you have to go and like get the whole lay of the land. There's usually monsters there that are like pretty high level, if you want to call it that, and they have like weapons, and sometimes you could just find weapons in like set locations pretty much. And even still, like you would go to, there's always weapons in like I forgot what they're called, they're like stables, yeah, like at the chocobo oops horse stables. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. It's just something that you get used to. You pick it up fairly easy.
That's really cool.
It's fun though. Breath of the Wild. It's in there.
That's your favorite game of the year?
That is my favorite game.
My favorite game is your number 2 favorite game?
Yeah.
Nier Automata. We did an hour-long podcast, at least, on this game.
If anything, we could just talk about the extra stuff that we wanted to talk about more.
Sure, yeah, it's so good. It's got such good music, right?
Yeah,
right. We're talking about
definitely.
music. Like I think the cool thing about Nier is it embodies everything I loved about all of these other games, you know, in a really cool way. Like it's got this open world that's really interesting to move around in. I think like. Yeah. It's got platforming. It's like you gotta like be creative with your there's moments in the game where I was like, how do I make it over there? I know there's a thing I want over there. How do I get over there? I keep falling in the water, and then eventually throughout like jumping, and maybe if I jump and swing, and then after that I do that button where I grab my pod and flip forward, and then I use my glide for a second before I use my double jump, and then after that I hold down attack, so she's doing like an attack animation, give her that little extra lift. I made it, you gotta it's a Super Mario Odyssey style of like thinking.
Even simpler things, like if you want to like go to the ground fast, like I remember those race that I had to do, and the biggest thing that keep messing me up was like I kept messing up my fall whenever I was on there, and like I couldn't like jump and dash, and that still was slow. Pretty much what I did was take one of my staffs, or not staffs, like one of the pickaxes. Spears, thank you. And I just did a ground heavy attack in the air, and it just got me down really easy, like much quicker than like just falling. And you take no damage too, I found.
Oh yeah, you take. I think you take fall damage if you fall from too far. If you're not floating.
Well, if you're attacking.
Yeah.
There's no damage at all.
That's interesting. I don't know if I remember that. Because I've definitely fallen from really far height. And been like,
I did it from high. I did it from high up, where I'm pretty sure it would have damaged a lot of my health, or 2B's health. That's what I was playing as, and it didn't do any damage. But it was cool because like I was thinking of a way to get down quicker, and the fastest way that I thought of was pretty much using a weapon, which is cool.
It's got this Bayonetta combat system, right? Like it's very similar to Bayonetta. You got your dodge on trigger, which if you time it right, you get like this brief window that you can counter with. You got this bullet hell gameplay a lot of the time, like even during the third person action sequences, the bosses will send out these patterns of enemy projectiles that you have to be dodging in precise manners, and it gets really fun and like tough. You got this amazing soundtrack, like the best, in my opinion, of the year. I love this soundtrack. It's like eerie and haunting and beautiful and great. It's all this made up language that the singer came up with. She's the same singer from the first one, and it's just like it sounds like almost like Gaelic or like sometimes, but then sometimes it sounds French, sometimes it sounds Japanese. It's none of the above.
Like English, but only not even that.
There is a song that's in English, but
the only thing I remember hearing from like the made up language was Yorha, that came up once in one of the songs.
One of the songs has actual dialogue from the game as part of the song. The robots are chanting, "We will become gods."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and that's like incorporated to a beat. and it becomes this like really like driving like intense song, and then so it's got amazing music, right? It's got like you were talking about like depressing like atmospheric story, like this is one of those like stories like you don't feel the same after you play this game. You feel you're in a different headspace, and it's really good. I don't want to even go into how he gets there, but you start questioning like it's it asks you things about like life and like what it means to be a person, basically. And it's great. I think it deals well with these questions. It doesn't just throw them out there irresponsibly. And it's so it's like it's the reason it's my number one is because it's got, and it's also hilarious and weird. It's bizarre and funny and like off kilter, and you can you eat mackerel at one point and you just die. That's the game over. You get a whole credit sequence that just fast forwards by. Like you could just, and it's very Japanese in that way that like Western games being wacky is different from Japanese being games wacky. And like and it's got this cool tone that like it could only be achieved by Yoko Taro, this legendary director who his games have always been like not good to play, but there's always something special about them, and in this case they somehow got one of the best video game developers out there, Platinum, to work with him, and this studio combined with his creativity churned out a masterpiece, really his best game, and like one of Platinum's best games too, and it's just it's amazing, and it's like it's the reason it's number one. It's all of these games that I list that have been on this list. These lists have like had these really strong elements, like and this game has all of those. It has all of the above, it's definitely, but it's and it like brings it together in this really cool package, and it's doing well, which is crazy and good because Yoko Taro games never do well, and he's finally finding an audience, and here's the thing, like I don't think this is like the top, like one of the coolest things about this game is I think this game is just like a stepping stone for what's to come from this. But like in a good way, not like this game needs a lot of work, but like more like I can see you doing amazing things like you from this amazing point, like you can only go further from here, and I can't wait to see what's, and I'm they're apparently I think they're they're gonna I know they're gonna work on Nier Automata too. I don't know if he's gonna be involved in that, but like, or a sequel to it, but like but definitely get that guy back on projects because his vision, and combine him with another talented studio, maybe Platinum again or someone else, but like his vision is so strong, and it proves that like if you back people with strong visions, like you can get something really incredible, and it became my favorite game of the year in this amazing year of video games where
oh my gosh, it's hard. It's
some of the games that I was thinking of earlier this year that I was like, this is definitely gonna be my top list. It didn't make it. This is how crazy this year is. But I mean, Nier Automata, my number one pick.
Definitely. I had Nier at the top, right? Like that was definitely up there because like, but I had like because that was the most recent one that I finished playing, and I almost had like a recency bias to it because it's so fresh in my mind. But I tried really hard to like throw something else. Try to remember any of the other games that I played. But like Zelda Breath of the Wild, like that's where gaming came, like branched off for me and like really excelled that gaming experience for me. Nier, like Nier it can easily be my top for sure. It's just really hard because like these both these games got me like into tears, and like it's in different ways too, and and it's just really good.
I mean, like this order of games that like this year, like if someone tells me their like top list of games this year, like I'm probably not going to be mad at it. Like no matter because this year has been so good. If someone came up and said, "Hey, Persona 5 is my favorite game of the year," I'd be like, "Persona 5 is an amazing game. Like that is one of the best games this year."
Yeah, it's definitely gonna.
It's
oh my gosh,
easy
it is
to
really
be
good.
someone's favorite game. You know, I've heard people say this year, I think this is the best game I've ever played in my entire life, Persona 5. And I was like, all right, yeah, like I totally can see that. You know, it's a really great game. You know, Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, blew open what you could do with the Ubisoft format. You know, that like idea, it like changed everything. It's amazing. It looks so good. You know, it runs so well. It's got such a unique and different combat system that, you know, I haven't seen, you know, ever. Right. You got, you know, like Assassin's Creed took, you know, 2 years off and like, you know, came back with this like huge Egypt, you know, and like it just like looks so different from how, or it plays and looks so different from how the series has been. You know, it took risks. I think this year is just, you know, fighting games had a really good year this year. You know, you got your Tekkens, your Injustice. You know, they both killed it. You know,
we also have like a little story choice games too, which I haven't even touched. And I'm not even sure you touched either. Like Dream Daddy was pretty big as well.
Dream Daddy, that was good.
That came out this year, and I
Doki
heard a lot of good
Doki
things
Literature Club. If you don't know about that, you should definitely check that out without reading anything about it.
Yeah.
There was what is it? Life is Strange had its prequel, and I heard that was really good. You know, I love the first one. I just haven't even gotten around to playing it. You know, like I love the first Life is Strange. I'm definitely gonna check out Life is Strange too. What Remains of Edith Finch is a game that like I'm dying to check out. You know, this year has just been crazy for video games. It's been crazy for a lot of things, but like if we're talking in a positive, it's been crazy for video games. You know, like, one of the it's unfortunate that it's such a good year when it's such a shitty year.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary too to see like the next year, what next year has to come. I'm hoping good things.
Yeah, like I mean, 2017 obviously, like for video games, there's been, you know, a lot of controversies. There's been, you know, like if we're talking about the year as in review, you know, like if we review it, it's tough because it's like on one hand, like when we talk, like again, like, you know, like Neo came out this year. It's not on either of our lists. You know, that game rules. That game
it's really good.
Like no game probably would have been on my list of, you know, favorite games any other year, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, this year it's been crazy. It's had such good games, but it's also had like, you know, such big controversies in regards to like what's happening to video games in terms of
recently
as a service. As like like do you like how much of a game like do you even have, like, you know, like before you have to pay more, you know, basically. Like
exactly.
And it's crazy. And you know, like you know, laws are being passed. You know, Hawaii and Belgium are, you know, saying that like this shit that Overwatch and like Star Wars and, you know, all these games are doing is gambling. You know, like it's crazy. Like legislators are getting in on this. So I think the worldscape of video games might not stay the way it has been in terms of here's the thing. These are art forms. Yeah, this is an art form. These are artistic projects, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
However, it's also business, you know, and it's also an industry, right? So like you're always gonna have the artists out there who just want to like, you know, like look at Nier's commentary on monetization. You know, it lets you buy trophies in the game with in-game currency.
Yeah,
like actual like you can get the platinum in that game just sitting in front of this menu. You know what I mean? Like, that's hilarious, and it's just like, hey, none of this matters. Whereas other games, you know, you're seeing people like literally like fork over, you know, $50 for packs, to like get the rare loot so they could be better at the game, preventing people who don't spend money to like they can't keep up with that,
Yeah.
and they're at a disadvantage. Like it's I don't know, it's incredible. It's like things are so weird right now.
Yeah.
But like, the more I look at it, like because of Star Wars Battlefront 2 specifically, I think EA really soured the boat, or really they fucking grossed everyone out with what they did. And like, I think that specific like bad splot, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, that like gross thing of Star Wars, I think is going to change the industry.
Yeah. The community, and like just like it opened up eyes.
So thank
pretty
you,
much.
EA. I'm grateful that you would, run headfirst into this wall, because like now I think video games are going to be in a better place. Like I think we seen like tweets or just like mentions like no microtransactions as a selling point now. Yeah. That's awesome. Like, it shouldn't be that, but I mean, I'm at this point, I feel like May from, Night in the Woods, and I'm just like a cynic,
Things are just changing.
But like, but like, if things are changing too fast in a gross way, I think people react. I'm glad, because like, we're never going to get rid of day one DLC and pre-order DLC, because we've accepted it, because we allowed it to creep in. We didn't complain hard enough.
But one day EA will fuck up again. And then
we complained hard enough about loot boxes that I can't. It's gonna be a hard time for a new project to come out with loot boxes.
Yeah,
and seem fair, and like, you know what I mean. Like, I think people are onto, like, I mean, I think
this year has just been crazy with games and just like the community in general. Like community and industry. Like, it's a big event for like gaming for sure. Like,
and it's funny. You think about any other year, like, huge games that come out that year, right?
Yeah.
Like, we had a Call of Duty come out this year. We had Battlefront 2 come out this year. We had Overwatch and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Ghost Recon Wildlands selling like crazy. Like, we've had all these games that are like huge games,
Mm-hmm.
And like, and a monetized microtransaction, and they made a ton of money with that and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, they couldn't even come close to cracking my list.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people's list. I don't know how many people are gonna put, I don't think anyone's gonna put Call of Duty in their best game of the years. Like, it's just, like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, people, I mean, I think they're, NBA, WWE, all these like monetized microtransaction exploitative games are making money hand over fist. But I think like the critical reception is clear that people want games that don't do that. People want games that like give you full meals.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's even some other games that like are pretty popular. We haven't really touched too much at all. Like PUBG has been pretty a while. Apparently, it's hit the top played in Steam for. I think it still is.
Did you hear about this? Fortnite is actually trending up.
Oh, is it?
So who knows where? Between PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite, like the battle royales, like I mean, like the big plus for Fortnite is they're free. You don't have to pay $30 to start playing that game.
And then the base game as well is going to be free, but that's like it's not. That's obviously not the competitor.
No one cares about that game.
No one. That's
so funny. They spent years in development, right? On this game about this zombie world where you're going to be building forts. They had this whole game, right?
Yeah.
That's what they've been making for years. And it was going to sink. This game was not going to do good. Yeah. No one was like, when people saw it, people weren't like very excited. And then one day they just go, hey, you know what? We're going to try and, Like this is just me saying this. Obviously I'm dramatizing it, but rip off these guys that we've worked with. Make our battle royale style game. Yeah. And I mean, I think PlayerUnknown's Battleground people do think it is a ripoff. Yeah. But that game just like changed that whole Fortnite's whole direction and future. Yeah,
definitely.
Fortnite became a hit all of a sudden, and maybe it'll translate to more sales of even the vanilla PvE game. But like, I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, super crazy. I think other games too. Like, I don't know. Have you ever heard of a game called Get Over It? This is the game I was gonna mention. That's like challenging, like Cuphead, I guess.
Get Over It.
This game. Mm-mm. This is a PC game, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it's on like console, but it's a PC game where you play as a man with a stick. I don't know, maybe it's a crane, and he's in a cauldron. And
he's in a cauldron.
Yeah, he's in a cauldron,
like a witch's cauldron.
Like a witch's cauldron, and he uses his stick to move around. And you pretty much just go up and pretty much try to reach the top of the top as far as you can. And I don't know what there's like a narrative behind it as well, but it's more of like quotes, and I'm not really sure. But
it reminds me of that reminds me of those like games like remember that mobile game a while back that the fishing one. Or like Downwell or stuff like that. Like
yes, I think
like
it's
short like short play session, but like they get weird and like
this one's definitely not short, but like I think
is it like runs? Are you doing runs and like you fail and you keep going?
It's all straight, like you trying to go up like almost like a mountain, but it starts getting different and starts going in different paths. And then but all of them, if you ever mess up, the physics like drops you back all the way back down. And you have to start all over, and that happens quite a lot.
How long does the average successful run take?
I have no idea. Like I said, I've only seen this a couple times, and like what's interesting is I did kind of see someone finish it all the way, but I think it's in like it's either a beta or it did come out, but the ending for it, you don't get to see it because it says on the ending it's like an agreement, like please do not show or record this portion of the video, stop recording, stop streaming, and then you can continue on. So it's like there's like a little secret that not a lot of people know about. Unless you actually went through the whole entire thing.
I wonder if someone has broken that agreement.
I feel like someone has. There's got to be someone out there, right?
Yeah, there's got to be some. But
there's a lot of people in the world.
You want to like maybe not check it out and like just try and get it yourself, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's the whole thing. But that's just one other game that recently came out. I'm not even like I think it's been like a month or two.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of this one. Get over
this. It's a really good game. Apparently, I think the narrator's pretty famous. I'm not really sure who he is, but what is that? It's like Gary's Mod or Half-Life. It's a mod. Stanley Parable.
Like yeah, that guy.
It's like one of those, yeah.
There was speaking of like famous narrator stuff. There was what is it?
Little Nightmares.
Yeah, there was that game that came out this year. It's called Everything. Do you remember that game, Everything?
Oh my god.
It's got those weird animals that like it's like you can be anything from like a microbe to like an elephant, and like but it's all like they move really weird. Remember they like just like kind of like tilt forward at like 45-degree angles. It's really crazy. It's like this super weird artistic game called Everything, and I think it's just got quotes from what's his name? Oh jeez, I don't remember. It has like this just audio recordings of this guy. Also, that one game, The Witness, had quotes by like famous philosophers in it. I don't know. I just love like that thing, like
a narrative.
Yeah, just no,
Or,
like
no.
not a narrative. The opposite, just like weird,
just-
like quotes, like you
Yeah.
know, like context-less quotes.
Yeah. Like Socrates once said.
Other games
Blah, 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 blah.
I didn't play this year, but I wish I did play, and I do want to play. And you got to remind me to play this one, SteamWorld Dig 2.
Oh wow! Did that come out already?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be great.
Have you played the first one?
No.
I have, and I finished it all the way because it was free for PS4.
Yeah.
And
this
that
one
wasn't too bad.
This one seems like way more my speed from what
Yeah.
I've seen. It's like
Yeah.
a Metroidvania style game. That's it just seems great.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play Battle Chef Brigade this year.
Yeah.
It's funny. I didn't even touch some of these big ones. I didn't touch Destiny this year.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when Destiny tried to worm its way into place? You already own Destiny,
This is
right?
recently. I do.
Yeah.
I do own it, but
So
I
you
don't
didn't get
keep
it.
my PlayStation on rest mode. So
No, because you have Destiny, you didn't get the thing probably.
well, I mean, like regardless whether I had it or not, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I do have it, yes, but I don't have my PlayStation on rest mode, which will make it download the game.
So you can like make it so it doesn't automatically download these ads to your PlayStation. But if you own a PlayStation 4 and you've seen Destiny pop up and that made you feel weird, like don't worry about it. Just turn it off. Turn that thing off.
Where do you go?
But you should be mad because that's gross.
You should go to, if anyone's still currently having that problem and is listening to this podcast, go to settings on your PlayStation, then go to system, and then go to auto downloads, and then it'll be the featured ads, and make sure you untick that, and that'll be your way out of that horrible thing. Really, it's pretty
Weird
bad.
advertising thing, yeah.
Yeah,
and
I agreed
download-
to it. I agreed to it for just a second, and then I was like, "No, this is pretty bad," because it's gonna entice me. Oof, I don't even know if I'm using that right. It's gonna make me want to buy the game even more, but it's pretty scummy, to be honest.
But you already own that game.
But if another game come up that's not that game,
Oh
that
yeah,
Destiny 2.
yeah. No, don't put games on my dashboard, man.
Yeah.
Like this is
Although
like
SharePlay does that though. When you're watching someone else play, it throws it in. It
that
doesn't
makes
download
sense.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Like I've gone there, you know, like
Yeah.
and that's what Destiny 2 did. It didn't download the game onto my system. It just gave me that exact thing, that SharePlay style buy now, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was downloaded for some reason.
If they gave me anything on top of that, like, you know, like if they gave me the game, like a trial of the game, which I don't even want that, by the way. But
It's
like,
gonna take up your space.
yeah,
Like that's rude.
but like if like, you know, they didn't even give me a trial. They just gave me like the option to buy.
Yeah.
Anyway, crazy year, man. Crazy year.
Oh, we said it in
2017.
the beginning. We said it in the beginning. It's a great year for video games.
Great
And
year.
It held up at the end as well.
I mean, I didn't even talk about Wolfenstein, you know. It's like there's so
Yeah.
many games I love that like I
Good
didn't even get
games.
to touch. But like and games I haven't even gotten to play, like Evil Within 2. I still haven't
Yeah.
played that game, you know.
I got that game too, and I'm trying to make the first one. I've heard things about it where the first one was still better, but I mean,
Honestly, to me, like I like the changes that they made. I guess there's more of an open world side quest vibe to the second one, which I was like,
Right.
that's really interesting with a horror
Yeah.
system. Like I wonder how that's gonna feel.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to play that. I'm
my gosh.
gonna just play a bunch of video games.
Do we want to try to see what's coming up for 2018? Get us hyped.
Get
Get everyone else hyped.
you want me to tell you something that let me leave you on a scary hype note.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out next year.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it. Then I look at Grand Theft Auto and what it's become.
Wait. What?
What Grand Theft Auto has become. Right? The online. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, GTA as a series. How
Yeah.
cool it used to be and how like grossed out it makes me now. Like, you know, and then I just think about Take Two and what they said about monetization, and they said like, yeah, of course we're gonna like Grand Theft Auto 5 is just the start of how we're gonna start monetizing things, you know, and their plans for monetization and the culture that they built around GTA Online. And now I get really scared for Red Dead Redemption 2, which Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
So if you mess up Red Dead Redemption 2, like I'm never buying a single game from you again. You know, like I'm done, right? Like
yeah.
That's like I don't know, like I don't know if I'm, you know, I don't know. It's trippy. It's worrying.
Yeah.
I'm really worried about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just kind of focused double down on the online. I hope no one plays that online or something, because
yeah.
I don't want that to be the focus of that game.
Yeah, it seems to be that way, but yeah, hopefully, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully there's surprises in 2018 as 17 was, but
yeah, I mean, I honestly, I might need a year. We should all agree to like just fucking not make video games for a year.
just throw out some no video games. What? No, I don't know.
I have so many video games from 2016 and 17 I have to play still.
Yes, same. Like I've been I like throughout this podcast I was trying to catch up just with games like before that, like Bayonetta, what was it? Alan Wake. I think it was the first ones we did.
Let me just play you know, Evil Within and Life is Strange and What Became of Edith Finch, and you know, let me just play I have a 3DS now because Timmy got me a 3DS. Let me play Pokemon Sun. Let me play Bravely Default. You know, like let me play all of these awesome games from my backlog now.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, I don't know what's coming out.
Let me just quickly spitfire some games for next year real quick.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World, Dragon Ball Z.
I do
immediately.
Wait.
Shadow Colossus.
Okay, I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. You're gonna skip Dragon Ball Fighters, right?
Why?
Because you don't play fighting games.
Who said I wasn't gonna get it?
See, that's
I'm just kidding. That's not confirmed. It's not canon yet. It looks really cool though. I will say that.
Yeah, Arc System Works. They're great.
Yeah.
So I know how that game's gonna play. I've played their games before. You know, it's like I know how it's gonna play. It's gonna play great. I wonder if you're gonna play it.
It's we'll see. Maybe it'll be the first one of 2018 that I pick up. Shadow Colossus, Dragon Quest Builders. I don't think that's the game that
already came out last year.
Oh, it's Nintendo Switch. Whoops. Destiny Warriors 9. Owlboy. I think that came out already though.
Yeah, Owlboy already came out. It's supposed to be great. That's another game I always wanted to play.
Yeah. Same. Bravo Team. I don't know. Gollum.
Bravo Team's that VR game.
I don't know.
Steins Gate is just like a visual novel.
Yeah. Oh,
it's based on the anime. Yeah, Yakuza 6 is coming out next year.
Oh, A Way Out. Is that the couch co-op?
Yeah, with no microtransactions. Remember? Did you see him on the Game Awards?
No.
Joseph Ferris? I'm going to send you a video after this. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I know, we just have all these games coming out. Oh, Sea of Thieves. That's another one.
Right. Dude, poor Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Like, they lost all their exclusives. I mean, what is it? Sea of Thieves and Crackdown 3. That's like all I could think of.
Yeah.
Scalebound's done.
Yeah. Far Cry 5. That's another one. Interesting.
That's not their exclusive.
Well, I'm still just naming stuff.
Yeah. The more I see of that game, the less I want to play it.
Same.
But the message of the game. Okay, here's a thought I had, right?
Yeah.
Mafia 3 didn't sell well. Wolfenstein 2 didn't sell well. Turns out if you make games where you fight and kill racists, it doesn't sell well. I don't like that. I want games where you fight and kill racists to sell very well.
Yeah.
I might have to buy Far Cry 5 because I want to kill some racists in video games. And I want them to keep making video games where I kill evil racists.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at too. And also because like Assassin's Creed Origins is kind of picked up for me. and for others as well. And I wanted to see how
if they take some of the design ideas from Assassin's Creed Origins for Far Cry 5, I'm down. You know.
Yeah.
I hope it plays more like Assassin's Creed Origins than it does like Far Cry 4.
It's gonna be very interesting because it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah, but I mean, Far Cry 3 and 4 plays like Assassin's Creed. You know,
yes,
2 through 3 to 4 or whatever.
And that's what I like.
Shooting.
Yeah, that's what I liked about Far Cry. It's because I still had those little takedowns or whatever. That's a big thing for me. Like that's just the biggest thing.
Wolfenstein had those too. Remember?
Yes, I
Hatchet
love that.
kills.
Yeah, those are awesome. Oh man, 2017. Oh, what a wrap.
And that was just video games. I mean, you know,
it was just video games.
We had a Star Wars movie this year.
We had a Star Wars movie. We had Stranger Things. I think also Game of Thrones came out this year as well.
I think Game of Thrones comes out almost every year.
Well, yeah, but
actually, I don't think next year we're getting a Game of Thrones.
I don't know.
From what I heard, 2018 they're not gonna have one. It's coming back in 2019.
That's fine. That's good. It's good. Yeah, man. It's a great year, and I can't wait. I'm still kind of scared for next year. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year's, everybody, and
Happy New Year's.
Be good to each other.
Yeah. Let live what. No, I can't do quotes. I'm not good at it. I agree with June. Be good to each other.
All right. Catch you in the future.
Yeah.